years, maybe, and it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country. This is also not 2013 any longer when we ran that play last.
Ooh, talk about the quiet part out loud. Now, New York. Yeah, guys. Ooh.
Stand up. They need to see you. Deputy Mayor Williams Ison, Deputy Mayor Mira Josie, Deputy Mayor Amazar, Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer. Have you ever seen this much chocolate leading the city of New York?
So that's crazy. There's no way. Like, could you imagine walking into a Walmart or anywhere, just anywhere, any place of business, and just being like, being a white dude and going, "Wow, guys, look at all this chocolate running everything." I don't know. Wow. So check this out. This is crazy, guys. So squatters have taken over 1,200 homes in Atlanta, Georgia, transformed one into an illegal strip club. This is no joke. This is happening in Georgia. And it's happening. It'll be in other places as well, just not being reported widely. Places like Illinois and other things where they pass laws where you can't actually have, if somebody wants to go sleep on your front porch, you cannot have them removed because they're not harming anything. And so that they no joke. In Illinois, they can go, by the way, Illinois is hiring illegals for the police department, same as DC. So you'll be arrested by somebody who's not even from the United States. You'll have to have a translator that will translate the police officer's speech to your speech so that you can understand what they're saying while they're arresting you from not even being here. And if this is a debacle that goes way deep. Like, imagine if you had somebody with no American values hired by a bunch of people who want to enforce laws on Americans and to tell them to do something that's not even constitutional or American. They would go for it because they know that their special place is like, they're going to get your home. Elon said this. He said, not only are they going to take over areas, but they're going to get your houses too. And it all starts by, like, if you let them rent a room. Let them rent a room. And see what happens whenever they start doing bad things to your house, you or your family, and you try to get them out of there. They'll end up living in your house while you have to leave, if you even get your house back. You'll see. But neighborhoods have been ravaged by this. I've read the article, and it says here, there's companies that go and clean these houses for, like, say, for instance, if I was an organization that bought up houses like BlackRock, and I wanted to, BlackRock's probably like behind this, but if you're an individual and what do you call it, real estate investor, and you're renting homes, but you have a business that kind of manages them and you clean these people. Well, these groups have said that they've been in neighborhoods that have been completely ravished by this. It's not an uncommon thing now. And in Georgia, isn't that where District Attorney Fannie Willis is like a high-profile DA, and this is where a lot of this stuff is happening? You've heard of the corruption in the jails there. You've heard real systemic racism come out of her many times. She's the one that only locks up black people. Only black people. All the white people get to walk in Georgia. Like, all the people that were involved with the Trump stuff got to walk, except for one black dude. He got a bond and got stuck in there. No joke. Then they got bothered some more after that. But it says here in the latest episode, Democrat urban utopia squatters are reportedly taking over hundreds of Atlanta homes, terrorizing neighbors, and even opening illegal strip clubs. Police response to evict the squatters is delayed because somewhat desperate homeowners have actually had to bribe these people to get them out. Yeah. And so if you're new to this whole thing, and you've been watching YouTube and you decided to make fun of a person who's conservative or right wing, such as me, that decides that some of this stuff is wrong, think about this. You're going to find out with the policies that you voted in just how dangerous this is going to get, and they're going to definitely come for your house. And so another thing. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find this. So I found this article. This little off subject from what I talk about, but then again, it plays into something else. And getting ready to do this video, this thing popped up. This article did. Let me show you right quick here. This is wild, man. I don't know, and I'm just going to speculate. We're going to speculate for a little bit. But this is a radio station, and it says it was baffled because, and I know this is stupid probably, but let's just hear me out. It says, ads go away. Radio station baffled after 200-foot radio tower disappears without a trace. And the people at the radio station like, they've seen it all now. This is a huge tower, 200-foot tall tower. I don't know if you can conceive what 200 feet looks like when you stand it up in the air, but it's That's a long ways. It's a huge tower. It's got really large coax cable, big fasteners, guy wires, all this fun stuff. But a radio station nearby, thieves somehow stole a 200-foot tower in Alabama. No one's sure how the ambitious bandits made off with the heavy steel structure. WJLX station general manager Brett Elmore told WBRC. But, you know, that I think this is the image of the tower, or a tower that looks sort of similar to that. But how does this isn't your average crackhead that done that. It's not like somebody just came in there, which is, I believe this is just a general photo, but so if somebody's able to go in there and let that get all that stuff cleaned up, and they all stole other items from this radio station as well. Now, it just may be just some crackheads, but those aren't just regular ones. Or is it organized crime? There's been reports of extremely high-end houses being broken into from crimes being committed from organizations being funded from overseas, sending up a bunch of like different demographics from different countries and groups over the border, and they go in there and they rob everybody's houses and take high-end items, and they're gone. And you can't trace these people because they're not even from the United States, and they have zero way of finding out who they are. And here we are, a huge radio tower just got taken down. And I see this as a message. In a way, you know, what's the first thing you do whenever you want to conquer or like go into a place where you want to exert your force and try to move your will on people? You've seen it in other countries where insurgents will go into a news station during a live broadcast on television and just bust in there with firearms and take the place over. This is sort of a low-key version of that. Think about that. Maybe, because if you're able to go in there and then silence a radio station from doing what they're doing, and also, this crime has many messages sent out probably to a lot of different people, that these sleeper cells may be starting to organize, maybe possibly, and you're going to see other infrastructure that will be in trouble as well, which would be our power grid, which is very vulnerable because all of our power lines are exposed. Substations are very much exposed, and they're also, if they're not exposed physically, they are electronically through the internet, which we have a lot of Chinese insurgents coming across the border as well with great knowledge of how all this works. Remember, they flew a balloon over us one of the balloons we actually saw by accident we weren't supposed to see. Imagine all the balloons that go over we don't even know about. That one just happened to fly a little low and was able to be tracked afterwards. They screwed up on that one, but there's been probably multiple data gathering efforts by the Chinese that are probably allowed to happen by the United States because of backdoor deals being done by a compromised presidency who possibly could very well be installed, not actually legitimately chosen to be in there. And you got stuff like this happening. And then Harvard scandal scientists accused of data manipulation. Harvard's medical school is facing allegations of data falsifications and plagiarism. And we know about that by prominent neuroscientist Khaled Shah. The accusations spanning from 01 to 23 involve manipulation of data and images on 21 research papers. Experts have highlighted instances of data falsifications and image manipulation, casting doubt on the integrity of Shah's work. And Matthew S. Schrag said that this is really unusual sort of thing, that I cannot imagine how this happens by accident. Exactly. Thank you. This soy person understands that. The case adds to a series of alleged misconduct involving Harvard researchers, including a separate accusation of plagiarism against Harvard's chief diversity and inclusion officer. It is deep. It goes deep. And I even seen an article like this right here. I got to wrap it up. We're going to do a lot of lives today, and so we've got a lot of work to get out too. I'm running the shop, in case you don't know that. If you're new to this channel, I actually do have a functioning business. So I do this, by the way, a non-monetized channel. Trust me, Google doesn't like what I do. And so I'm just letting you know where we're at, and I appreciate the support. Former top prosecutor for Baltimore convicted of mortgage fraud. Yeah, this right here. Okay, that's crazy. That's a DEI person. And so here we go. Greenbelt MD, whatever that says, a former top prosecutor for the city of Baltimore, Maryland, was convicted Tuesday on one count of mortgage fraud, concluding a lengthy criminal trial, which Marilyn Mosby testified she unwittingly made false statements on loan applications to buy 2 Florida vacation homes. She was previously convicted on 2 counts of perjury in a separate criminal trial that took place in November. She has been sentenced. Hasn't been sentenced in either case. Don't do any crime or any time for that crime. And I also saw another article where Target's pulling some kind of like toy off the shelf because somebody said that it was incorrect history. And I'm sitting there thinking, you sure you learned the right history? Anyhow, yeah, that's just crazy how we're seeing like so many awful things happening. I'm just going to scroll through my little twatters here and I'm going to see. I got James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe infiltrates a media group, infiltrates this converted illegal immigrant compound. It's called Casa Alitas. Ramada Hotel in Tucson. So these people, so that's James O'Keefe. He actually is able to get in there and find out who's funding this. It's very super secretive, and people won't let anybody find out if this is such a wanted thing and they want, the public wants all these illegals. Why are they hiding it from us? And it's happening everywhere, and it's being funded by NGOs and by your taxpayer dollars to have this stuff. And this right here is I don't know if this is right or not. There was Anthony Blinken's home was, they say that's Hamas people at Secretary of State Blinken's home. But, I don't know. So, I saw this. We'll have to see. But apparently there's police all around there. I don't know what they're dumping out, but there was a bunch of people out there in front of Anthony Blinken's house. I know, right? And supposedly Hamas people. So anyway, let me, I just wanted to show you what's going on with the illegal stuff. We really got to get that down. We've got to do something about this. We've got to band together. And the division amongst the blacks and whites is getting extremely hot and heavy. I'm watching article after article polarizing black people against white people. I wish they would stop that. I wish they would. I think it's wrong. I think that what we're doing is what is happening with our media is not an accident. People, please, if you're watching this video for the first time, you've made it this far, you're supposedly a lefty person and you're just going to make fun of me. Understand that we are under attack socially. We have to come together. We have to quit this division because that is how they conquer. And Bill Gates will give us an idea of his family history, his eugenics background in a coded way. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the like, subscribe, and share. And we'll be live on several channels today throughout the day. Have a great afternoon and a good weekend ahead. Here we go.
Did you come to reproductive issues as an intellectual?
When I was growing up, my parents were always involved in various volunteer things. My dad was head of Planned Parenthood, and it was very controversial to be involved with that.